Stellar Warfare is an RTS game that caught my eye quite a long time ago for its visual effects and sound design, which is kinda ironic because, you know, in space there is no sound. This game is now in early access and it will cost you 17 euros. And I will talk about this game as a game that cost me this much money. And do you know what costs exactly the same? Valheim. I played the game already for 36 hours and after all this time I didn't even defeat the second boss. Because I'm playing it with my good friend and he has a lot of work to do. So we play only occasionally. And from time to time I come here alone and do the housework without progressing the game and just making the game less grindy when he comes. If we compare, I played Stellar Warfare under 2 hours. And if you understand, this is a specific time. Alright, so I started the game for the first time. I'm full of excitement. Haha, run. Let's start with the tutorial. And tutorial is the first place where the problems start to arise. First of all, the UI was super small. Oh, the UI is so small. Maybe it's because I have 1440p monitor. Sadly, I cannot change the UI in the options menu, so I will have to squint all the time I will play. Not even the main menu of the game helps. What is even better, after I launch the game again, the UI is gone. The frustration is starting to build up. I want to play already. Okay, the UI is gone. Good start. I can only see anything. This sadly left not very good first impressions. Not only that, every time you restart the game, the options will restart as well. So you will have to change them all the time. I got sick of the tutorial and started the survival game mode. I said to myself pretty much I will learn the game there. The UI poked his ugly little head from time to time. For example, I cannot see the whole population limit because it is under the texture. So I slowly started to learn the game on my own. And the first things I noticed were the things that brought me into the game and got me excited. First of all, the visuals. Like even the small fights look great. Everything is crisp. Every single gun has a noticeable visuals and you can recognize what is shooting when. And in the later survival rounds, it is still looking epic. There's so many stuff, but you can tell what gun is what. You can see the rockets, the plasma, everything. This is what got me excited for the game, and the game delivers on it. Not only that, the sound effects are great as well. At least for me, everything has that oomph, yeah?
New coordinates entered.
And together with the visuals, it creates very nice atmosphere. You can see here the passion poured into this game. This is what the game does amazingly. The visuals, the sound effect. You can see the huge fights and you just want to immerse yourself in the battles. This is leaks about everything else in the game. But now there is one thing left. That makes this game not so amazing. The gameplay is meh. Sadly, I played only for 2 hours. Most of the time was fixing the UI and I didn't even change anything. To sum it up, the gameplay is stiff. And still, the ships lack movement, especially the small frigates. In games like Homeworld, which is the most comparable game to this, everything is moving. The small frigates are flying around the huge ships, the small fighters as well. Here they just stand and shoot. Firstly, I didn't mind this at all, but slowly I found out you had everything standing still. And enemy waves were just coming and coming. And as I said, I did not mind it at the time. But looking back on it, the stale gameplay, in my opinion, will get stale after time. Hopefully you get my drift. Another problem with these games are, in my opinion, the guns. But Huran, you said they look amazing. Yes, the visuals are great and you can see everything. But the impact of the weapons are scheiße. Like every weapon has its own stats. It is good against certain things. And there is a lot of them. From missile, guns, lasers, new stuff, shield generators. You can equip any ships you want, from big to small ones. And this is very good. So now the weapon is doing different damage depending on the ships it shoots. And I'm 99% sure it actually works. But in the game it does not feel like it. Every single gun, although it looks amazing and you can distinguish it, the damage it does is so small you don't see the difference. And soon enough every single weapon just feels the same. The weapons lack clarity in terms of their effectiveness. Everything feels like it's doing the same damage. The rockets, the lasers, the ghost cannons. Was? How is this even possible? This makes me appreciate games like Star Sector so much more, because there you can feel the different effectiveness of the weapons. If you have a bloody red torpedo and it hits the hull, it will rip it apart. Here it feels like different visuals for the same weapon. I have no doubt that the weapons have different effectiveness, but if the player cannot feel it inside the game, what's the reason? And also I find kinda lazy that one thing does a little damage to this and more damage to that. I think Star Sector does it much better, where each weapon has different damage type. For example, one does more damage to the hull and one does more damage to the shield. And you can clearly see what does damage to what. Not only that, you have numbers showing up so you know what does what damage. And when there's no shields, your anti-shield guns don't do much damage to the hull, but the rockets and anti-armor things hurt it a lot. And you see the difference. But alright, you have still a lot of ships you can customize. But in survival mode, that I played exclusively because it was the most interesting part, throughout the whole survival, which took me, I have no idea, half an hour, maybe 40 minutes, I could only build a small ships. I bet myself you can build bigger ships in skirmishes or in campaign or whatever, but these modes didn't interest me. I think survival in space like this, wave survival, is an absolutely wonderful idea. And I even heard the author of the game said that people are most interested in the survival game. So how the hell am I allowed to build only the frigates? And I don't care if you say it will be eventually implemented in the future. I have already paid 17 euros for this game. That's why it is getting this, you can say, harsh treatment. In the first hour, maximum 2 hours, players decide if they want to play the game. Not only I had problems at the beginning with the UI, now I cannot even get to the big ships, the epic stuff. And if there is an option to get these big ships in the survival mode, how? And if it is explained, why do I not know it? Stop right there, me from the future. Actually, it is possible in survival mode to get the bigger ships. I was under the impression that these two icons would contain upgrades and new ships, like you have a cannon and a wrench. But for some reason it was this icon. Because I want to fact check the things I said. I found out where are the updates.
Please tell me how I upgrade my shipyard.
Even this person doesn't know it, by the way.
Go to the star menu in the tab.
The star menu.
And then you can unlock.
How the hell didn't know it? And it's not only the star menu, I think it's the lock menu.
Oh, sorry, the unlock icon.
Ah, the unlock icon. This button looks for me like when you lock or unlock the UI so it can move. But it's my bad. Next time I will do fast game overview. I will remember to click all the buttons. By the way, thank you for the video. These days, people have options for entertainment and so much less time. So if you are going for the nostalgia, most of the people will be probably working or in university. Meaning I have limited time. So I want to play a game. I will play Stellar Warfare. And I want to decide in the first 1 hour or 2 hours if this is worth it in my limited amount of time. In those 1 to 2 hours, you have to make me fall in love with the game. It is not excusable to have any problems in the first hour or 2 of the game. And again, I don't care if it is early access, I paid for it. Valheim is also early access game that I paid 17 euros for. And although it's not finished, I can get for the money I spent full experience. And there were no glaring UI problems, gameplay problems or anything of the sort. But you might say it is a different genre. It doesn't matter. I view it as any other game. It is a thing that you will do in your free time and you expect to enjoy it. And you are not only competing with other games, but all the other entertainment, YouTube, streams, movies, anything like that. This is a hard and unforgiving industry, and I absolutely sympathize with this game. My YouTube is the same. If I don't do it better or something unique, there's pretty much no reason to watch me and not do something else. And as in video or any other media, you have to put in the beginning the best you got. By the way, I still struggle with this. People will decide if they will play this game in the first hour, and you have to put the best your game can offer into that first hour so they can say, yes, this is worth spending my time over. And for me, after 2 hours gameplay, I didn't even get to the big ships, to the mid ships. I only got the beginning crappy corvettes or whatever they are. And the gameplay problems don't end there. As I said, the whole thing feels clunky. The AI is very simple, and even how you control the ships, it just doesn't feel exactly right. I couldn't pinpoint all the things that bugged me, because I only played it for 2 hours, but I have another example. You cannot, and I mean you cannot, queue buildings. You start building a building, and when you want to build another, you have to wait for that one to finish. At the start, it is alright. The more and more you play, this gets far more annoying. You cannot have 3 buildings building at once. And in the end game, I got so sick of it, I didn't even build anything because I could not bother. I don't know where the idea was created, but this is annoying gameplay. There has to be queue for the buildings. And the whole building vertically horizontally, which is great, feels also weird because sometimes the building is red even though nothing is blocking it. It is just alright. The game mode. I played only survival because this is, in my opinion, the unique proposition. We've seen skirmishes in Homeworld, we've seen campaigns, but survival in space, this is a very good idea and I love it. But still there are basic things missing. We are playing a survival game. Where is the timer? Where is the timer? How long have I played it? How many rounds do I have to beat? What round am I on? When does it end? And this is not a small thing. After I got into the late game, I started to wonder, when does it end? These kind of things have to be already in the game. It doesn't even matter if it is paid game or free to play. These are things you have to have implemented from the very start. And as you don't know when does it end, maybe you want to turn it off and do something else, but there is no save game. Currently in the survival you cannot save it, which would be alright if you could track the time or the rounds you are on. Look, I mentioned a lot of bad things about the game, but it's mostly because I see the potential and the passion put into this. I think the space survival is a great idea and I would love to see it work properly. I can totally see myself playing this a lot when I was younger, when I played the original Dune or Homeworld. But what hurts this game most is nowadays there's so many better options, even in the space genre. For what it offers right now for 17 euros, it is just not good enough. Not only for my money, but also for my time. And as a student and soon working person, I have to value it. Bye for now. If you enjoy these kind of games, go for it. I have actually high hopes that most of these problems will get fixed over time. The main reason I refunded it was not because of the many problems, although it was a part. It was mainly because the core gameplay, how the ship feel, not look, and weapon feel, it just seems to me that the game would get still pretty fast. It is like Homeworld remastered for me. I used to love this game, but now as you can see, it just couldn't keep me playing. Look, I wish a lot of luck for the owner of this game. I think this game has a lot of potential, but damn, it has a long way to go. But what do you think? Have you already played? Will you actually give it a try? Do you think this is an interesting concept? Leave it down in the comments below. If you're new here, consider subscribing, and I will see you next time. Ciao, ciao, and take care.